in sickness, and in health, to love, cherish, and to obey.
We didn't talk about that one in counseling.
We did talk about that in counseling. Yes, we did. So you want me to repeat that again? You want to just keep going?
I think we can keep going.
All right.
No matter how much of a cringe this turns out to be to some people, I'm gonna give you the definition of obey. Comply with the command, direction, or request of a person or law. Submit to the authority of. Now, I don't make the rules, okay? And this is what happens also when you hire pastors who come through a religious background, because anybody can be pretty much ordained to marry someone, I think, if I'm not wrong. But this is what happens, you know. On one end, you can't pick tradition and say you want this and then have your cake and try to eat it too and try to cherry pick what you want in it or not. Now, you can do it by all means, it's your program. But I'm willing to bet that anybody that goes through this, especially a guy, they're probably gonna continue to marry that person. You know how many plane tickets they don't pay for, hotels, the gas, the flights, the venue, the pastor, the flower girls or whatever, the dresses, the tuxedo, man, I mean, come on, man. There's a lot of money, you know, on the table for this wedding. And if we really want to be real about it, the guys really don't really give a damn about the weddings like that. This is really for the women, because they are, you know, they were once little girls who dreamed of having a wedding. You can tell this don't look like no Rudy Poot wedding. This looks like they put down some type of bread, but you can't really see the whole thing. That's just my assumption from what I observed. But this is most definitely a red flag. I understand how a lot of women, chicks, whatever, they will hear the word obey and they'll be like, oh no, I'm not going. That automatically makes me feel like that I'm being controlled. But hey man, at the end of the day, it said also request. The way I see it as is more so like this. If you're gonna go into this thing saying that the man is the leader and all this, somebody gotta be the head and somebody gotta be the back or the tail. That's just what it is. I understand it sounds cute when people say, hey, well, how about both of us just do this? We both run this. We both are alphas. That don't work. It just don't work in a regular functional type of relationship. Hey, by all means, if that's how you run your program, that's how you run your program. But long story short, what I'm saying is this is most definitely a red flag. She could have held that in. You know, there's the truth in a lot of jokes. I wouldn't say every joke. I don't believe in that, but there's the truth in a lot of jokes. Her sarcasm, and you can basically kind of tell what kind of person that he's dealing with just by how he's smiling, sitting up there like, oh snap, you know, I'm gonna go through this today. I'm gonna keep this smile on my face. She kind of comes off as a person, from my observance, who's kind of rebellious, as you can see, and who speaks, you know, the flapperjack can kind of get in trouble. So if I had to really call it, I you know, just by going by his face, I'm pretty sure he'll probably stay in it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they don't stay together. And most people probably won't stay together after that. You know how bold you gotta be to call a wedding off, to call it off in front of everybody? When someone, you know, when you feel disrespected, I understand that the person in the comments, you sitting in the seats of the church, I understand how your first thought is, you know what, I would have called it off right then and there. And by all means, that probably is the best route. But most people live through others and they care about what others got to say, so they probably gonna end up jumping the broom anyway. And the crazy part about marrying someone is that a lot of people sign the marriage certificates before the wedding, and a lot of people, some people sign the marriage certificate after the wedding. So I'll tell you what, if I felt some type of way and I was bold enough to call it off in front of everybody, hell, if we didn't sign them papers before and the certificate got to be signed afterwards, shoot, I'll tell you what, I don't know. I might even just go on with the wedding, just dig it on up and then have that talk in the hotel that night. And then it won't look so bad, just to kind of spare your feelings a little bit. But that ain't, that's not the thing to do and to joke about, whether you agree or disagree with the whole obeying part of that thing, what the pastor said. That's just something that you kind of hold on to and get into that later. You don't do that in front of everybody. And to be honest, it looks like she kind of did it for the protection, because the laughter in the back was somewhat of protection for her. So if someone, if she would have ended up getting broken up with, I'm pretty sure she'll have a whole clan of people in her corner that'll say, what's wrong with that? Let's just not play dumb here, y'all. It was kind of disrespectful. That's not something you do. There's a time and a place for everything. And she thought it was the place for it. By all means, that's your wedding. You do what you do. That's your program. But in a grand scheme of things, that wasn't the place to do it. And it was just plain disrespectful. Red flag at that. Do what you want to do, but it was most definitely a red flag, not a green one.